Last week, Kryptonite arrived in the form of Brian Cage for Superman, Walking Armageddon, Lashley. Sanjay Dutt, I ask you the question. I ask everyone the question. Let us know on social media, follow along. Hashtag Impact on Pop, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Was it a fluke last week?
Great question, Josh. Was it a fluke? I don't know, but I can't stress enough how huge it was that Brian Cage beat Bobby Lashley in his first attempt.
As we take you back to what transpired last week, jaws hit the floor when Brian Cage defeated Lashley. But you know, Sanjay, some of the chatter, some people weren't surprised.
I can't believe that discus lariat from Brian Cage put Bobby Lashley down for the 1, the 2, and the 3. This does wonders for Brian Cage's career.
What does it do for the mindset of Walking Armageddon?
Oh! You know, here goes the problem here. The problem here is that every time when somebody new comes into the Impact Zone, they try to make this big buzz, and here's the next big thing coming into the Impact Zone. And whenever they do, the first person they set their eyes on is me. And the reason why they do this is because, without a shadow of a doubt, everybody in here and everybody out there knows that I am the top of the food chain. So if you want to make a name for yourself, you have to come out here and test yourself against me. And see, that's what Brian Cage did. And I tell you what, Brian Cage, we haven't even begun to fight, because you're not going to come out here and get some kind of fluke victory and then run around and think that you made a name for yourself. You haven't done it yet. So instead of thinking that you made a name for yourself, you need to bring your ass out here and you need to give me one chance to fight you face to face, eye to eye, man to man. And if you pass the test at that time, then you're somebody. Because Bobby Lashley will make you famous.
Wow.
Brian Cage, come on out.
So Lashley wants Brian Cage, and the machine looks like he's gonna answer. If you're Brian Cage, why not answer Lashley? You beat this man last week. You're heading to WrestleCon tomorrow night. You're heading to Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground in New Orleans. Why not answer Lashley here tonight?
Well, I think he's coming out here to prove it wasn't a fluke. Hey, Bobby Lashley, I beat you last week, and I think Brian Cage is thinking, I'm going to do it again now.
And Lashley from behind. Don't turn your back on Bobby Lashley.
Bobby's got to have a chip on his shoulder after that loss last week. He says it's a fluke. Now's his time to prove it wasn't.
Sanjay, is this a match?
I don't know. We've got a referee. Have we heard a bell?
No bell yet. Lashley going to work on Brian Cage. Both men dressed to compete.
We do have a referee in the ring.
I said ring the bell, let him go. This is a main event worthy match. The bell rings.
There it is, Josh.
In the opening seconds of Impact Wrestling, you gotta love it.
Are you kidding me, Josh? We're kicking off the night with Bobby Lashley versus Brian Cage?
Throughout the week on ImpactWrestling.com, we read that Lashley had planned on calling out Cage here tonight. Didn't know it was gonna be for a match, but here we go. It's Lashley Cage 2, one-on-one right now.
Well, this was a huge night already when it's Case versus Case, Eli Drake versus Moose, and now our opening match is Brian Cage versus Bobby Lashley.
Things are certainly heating up here on Impact Wrestling, 17 nights away from Redemption Live on pay-per-view, April the 22nd. What a night that promises to be.
Yeah, we've got our main event, Austin Aries defending the world title against Alberto El Patron. Matt Sydal your man, Matt Sydal, defending the X Division title against Petey Williams.
I'm a little upset with Matt Sydal right now, but nonetheless.
Hey, you're not a champion anymore, Josh, and I'm not going to call you Mr. OTSG.
VIP packages are available right now for redemption and the Impact tapings to follow. Go to shopimpact.com. Join us here in Orlando.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
What was that?
Whoa.
Cage with the cover. Hooks the leg and a kick out.
Josh, did you see the ease in which Brian Cage hoisted Bobby Lashley up onto his shoulders and then threw him across the ring?
Oh.
Whoa, that was close.
Oh,
hey.
and a low blow.
Are you kidding me?
Well, remember, Cage defeated Lashley with that discus clothesline last week.
That's right. That's right. Great point, Josh. But was it necessary to kick Brian Cage low like that?
Do you think Lashley thinks that he can't beat Cage without using some shenanigans?
That's not the Bobby Lashley I know, but maybe this loss from last week has affected his mental and psychological game.
Lashley bending the rules.
Just a little bit.
Behind the back of the official, but will it earn him a victory here against Brian Cage? Very telling, though, that low blow.
You know, it's one thing to beat Bobby Lashley, period. It's another thing to beat Bobby Lashley the first time you get in the ring with him, and that's what Brian Cage did last week. And look at those forearm shots to the face.
Yeah, Taz-like cross faces.
Just was thinking the same thing, Josh.
From Lashley. Maybe Lashley's upset that Brian Cage has all new merch. He's being pushed. You can get Brian Cage shirts at shopimpact.com and a kick out at 2. You know, I say that tongue-in-cheek, but Lashley wants to be the man here.
He does. That low blow is taking me aback, Josh. I did not expect to see that from Bobby Lashley. You think that's something that he would do in an MMA fight?
That's a great question. I mean, Lashley sends Cage to the outside. Remember last week when Lashley went crashing down to the outside and Brian Cage waited for him in the ring?
Hey, do you remember when Brian Cage ran and crossed the ring with a flip dive and took Bobby Lashley out of the outside?
Right now it's Cage trying to get back inside the ring, and look at Lashley smiling now. This is a different kind of Bobby Lashley than we saw last week.
That's what a loss will do to you, Josh. I know you're not a true competitor. You lost your belt last week due to someone else losing the match. But a true competitor, a loss takes a toll on you, especially Bobby Lashley, a guy like Bobby Lashley, a Bellator MMA fighter. What's Brian Cage? Whoa, super kick right to the face.
Nice counter by Brian Cage, stopping Lashley. Look at the strength of this man.
Wait a second. Wow, electric chair sit out.
Will Cage go for the cover here and try to put away Lashley, make it 2 in a row? Sanjay, how many times do you think Lashley watched that match from last week?
Gosh, it's obviously taken a toll on him. I'm going to go back to what he did earlier. He kicked Brian Cage low.
Cage with a German!
Wow!
What
Again,
a throw!
hoist him up. Boom! Wow! DVD.
Brian Cage into the cover. Lashley kicks out. Lashley kicked out with enthusiasm there. He's got to be frustrated.
I can't believe the ease at which Brian Cage picks up Bobby Lashley.
Cage is so powerful. Nice. And he's shown his speed over the last couple of weeks.
Yes, he has. We know the power, and we now know the speed.
Thunderous clotheslines from Brian Cage. A half dozen clotheslines.
Jeez.
And Lashley, he needs to find higher ground. He needs to find a different gear. You've never had to say that before about Bobby Lashley.
Spilled to the outside here, Josh.
Lashley has met his match in Brian Cage.
And is he trying to walk away?
Lashley perhaps trying to play mind games with Cage. He's got a smile on his face again.
Whoa!
Look at Cage! Oh!
God. Body slam on the ramp.
Sanjay, you know that's just wood and steel.
I can't imagine taking a body slam on the ramp like that. Reminds me of those 2 Road to Valhallas that Taya Valkyrie gave Rosemary in the past few weeks.
What a rivalry that's shaping up to be. Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. Everything we saw last week, Rosemary jumps off the locker room outside here.
Yeah, that's far from over. Josh, what is Brian Cage attempting here?
Cage, look at this!
Get out of here!
What a suplex!
Holy cow!
There's no way Lashley kicks out, shoulders down, and somehow Walking Armageddon kicks out at 2 as we take a look at the strength from Cage.
Look at the power from Brian Cage, deadlifting a man like Bobby Lashley from the ground up while standing on the second rope, suplexes him into the ring.
Cage now looking to go outside. We saw this last week from Brian Cage and how athletic he is. We saw a springboard from Brian Cage last week. Now up to the top rope, and here comes Lashley.
Oh.
Two big bulls going one-on-one here on Impact Wrestling.
Ain't that the truth, Josh? Two Goliaths, two huge, huge men.
And now it's Lashley's turn with a superplex
Get
of
out
his
here.
own.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Power move after power move, shoulders down, and Cage kicks out. Let's take a look at what Lashley can do.
not to be outdone, there's Bobby Lashley with a superplex of his own. Hoists Brian Cage into the ring.
What an amazing match. The first match here on Impact. We're just getting started. We saw Eli Drake arrive earlier. Moose arrived earlier. Sanjay, what's it going to take to beat Lashley twice?
Let's see if he can do it, or is it a fluke like Bobby Lashley said?
Oh! Cage is right off!
Whoa! Is he going to go for that discus lariat again? No!
Lashley now stands to stay one step ahead.
Spear! Spear!
Brian Cage is down. Lashley needs
Maybe
to go
it was
for
a
the
fluke.
cover. Cage is down. Lashley looks to make it even, and
Whoa.
Cage kicks out at 2. What a match. Sanjay, how many people have kicked out of the spear from Lashley?
I was just going to say, Josh, the number of people that have kicked out of a spear, that's a very, very short list. And you can add Brian Cage to it now.
Lashley looking for the Dominator. Cage looking to fight free. And Brian
Jumping
Cage.
knee to the jaw.
Brian Cage is capable of so much.
Oh, drill claw! Drill claw, Josh!
Lashley just got drill clawed by Brian Cage, and Cage is 2-0 against Lashley.
The winner of the match, Brian Cage.
Brian Cage is a machine manufactured to destroy Armageddons, and that's what just transpired here on Impact. Cage is 2-0.
Brian Cage has beat Bobby Lashley 2 weeks in a row. Let that sink in. Brian Cage, the machine. Wow. Could the walking Armageddon be done walking after this?
If you asked the question last week, was this a fluke? Brian Cage just answered that question emphatically. Brian Cage defeats Lashley, and it leaves us all with one more question. What's next for Brian Cage?